promise, chapter 3. The trick to money is having some. The Cliff Note edition. El Melchizedek. The Hood Mystic. Yesterday we talked about the purpose of being persistent. Creating that steady, balanced stream of energy. Day 1, chapter 1, we talked about how we could visualize energy and work with energy and take that energy and transport it into cash. So, putting that together, we create this energy and we do it daily, basically. But you can look at day 1 and day 2 to get up to speed to where we at today. Today we're talking about acceptance and how acceptance brings you in what you want to happen in life, whether it be customers, whether it be cash, whether it be opportunity, jobs, love, by accepting yourself, okay? But what's blocking that acceptance? Let's get to that first. The ego. The ego seeks acceptance through family. And the ego is influenced by everything that everyone else wants. So it's all about how to please others. And the way that the system is set up is you do this, you do that, and we'll love you. You don't do this, you don't do that, then you're a criminal, you're an outsider. But it's a reason for that. One of the main reasons for that is because we're taught that, and we don't understand how to approve ourselves. So we're going to talk about that, and we're also talking about money. So approving our emotions around finances to get into a particular flow, and we'll talk about that as well. The fact of the matter is that people are going to accept you or not. I mean, you could look back in your life, and no matter what you did or what you didn't do, people liked you and people didn't like you. So the idea that it's something to do with you is something that you have been taught to believe. So the only thing that's required in this money game, and to get further with it, we got to first be happy with ourselves. That's important. Because who you are today is who you are. So the best thing to do is accept that and just be satisfied. And realize that the things that you can change about yourself, put effort in changing. And certain things you can't change about yourself, accept that. And come to a certain type of balance in that realm. Nobody around you is perfect. We all got shit to deal with on a certain type of level, no matter what. But as long as you're dealing with it and you have that realization, you good. Because at this present moment, you can be satisfied in just being you. But also, the things that's not good about you, your shortcomings, whether it be like being late or, attitude problems, or you're real moody, or whatever the fact, we all got shit with us, but that will also make you unique. So really coming into that realization, because we're talking about personality and human shit, but we're also talking about the steps that we need to take to create wealth. So I'm leading you somewhere. It's not like a boost of self-esteem. It's more or less of a realization and a real clarity, because we got to step back and get out of our emotions around self, around money, around certain types of things. Because the truth of the matter of your present day reality the thing that can't nobody take away is that you are spirit. You're eternal, immortal, and infinite. And if you were to tap into that, money would be the least of your problems, because you are a spirit having a human experience. So the human shit that you experience is all part of the game. You know, we're going to elaborate on accepting that greater part of you to really manifest some great things. We're not coming from a limited view or a limited perspective. Because once you start to accept yourself, the world begins to accept you because you're speaking in your truth. And, you know, people would be more afraid to lose you than to, you know, they want to be interested in what you have to say because you're speaking from a different perspective. And also, when we talking about the law of attraction and attracting things in our lives, insecurity is very unattractive. And insecurity about our finances is very unattractive to more money coming, because money likes to be with other money. When money sees money, it wants to be with it, right? But if you kind of guard your money or feel ways about your money, then how are you allowing other money to come into it? Idea of confidence. The idea of confidence is that no matter what, you always win, because not one situation can define you. So if you go to a job interview and you don't get the job, it's not because you needed the job. It's because you had other things going on. No matter what, a confident person wins. And if you project insecurity and neediness, others are going to react to it negatively. So when it comes to building wealth, you need to have a kind of aura about yourself of confidence, right? You know. So learning to be accepting of everything that is you begins to open up the pathways to other ways of increasing your finances, because you're allowed to be more intuitive. Excuse me. You're not doing what everybody says you should do, because like understanding, like being intuitive, you might do something that people don't agree with, but you following your gut. That's the whole point of it. In doing that, you might make mistakes, but you learn from that. But you don't have distractions either way, because your spirit needs that space to operate, to work. So either you can do things as a community and have like a hive mind and be destined to be with the masses, or you can start creating your own reality, right? Because that's the topic of the video. It's about creating wealth and doing something different. So in order to do different, we have to start aligning our thoughts and actions in that direction. And that brings us back to the ego, because the ego, like a reason why a video like this wouldn't get like 1 million views is because the ego, a person to agree with what people have to say up until the point that it requires them to put a little effort into change, because the egos hates that, and it's very leveled. Like you might change your hairstyle, but you don't never change your beauty supply store, right? That's kind of like the concept. It's like people have these control ideas based on their communities. So you have to start to accept the different things about yourself and the different actions that you're going to take. And then the daily, deliberate design to create wealth, actions designed to create wealth. If we pay attention to the news, if we watching certain things on TV or doing things that's not aligned with creating our wealth, like if you don't have a schedule, if you just got free time, right. another thing is if you just have free time to just like watch TV and not put effort into like creating something, right? Because we all got time. That's one thing we do got. But if we sit in like, these things is designed to create negative vibrations in your aura so you don't create the life that you destined to lead. Because your frustration feeds a system. But if you ignore it and spend your time wisely, nothing's stopping you, right? So, and then on another level, and then on a even deeper level, your subconscious mind can't differentiate the words that you say to other people. And that's what trips a lot of our people, because our conscious mind separates everything. Our subconscious mind puts everything together, and our subconscious mind is much more powerful than our conscious mind. So our conscious mind sees something that it doesn't like and it speaks on it, right? But your subconscious mind, the more powerful part of your being, cannot see that difference. So it feels like it's cool. So a lot of people create them negative vibrations just by wishing bad on other people. But they feel righteous in that feeling, right? But we trying to change that, right? And present some new information. Because I was on YouTube today, and there's a lot of people that I respect that had like a negative vibration to what they was talking about. And I'm just like, at a certain point, we got to be beyond that. We got to begin to speak life into our people and teach them things that can help them succeed, right? I'm saying, understand the design of the matrix, understand that stepping back and then creating that flow. I wanted to speak on this in other videos, but I never got a chance to. But even if you want to help people, you can make money by helping people, by understanding the 501c3 sector, right? You can, in a nutshell, with enough research, you can see how much it costs to help a certain group of people, whether it be women, men, children, right? It may cost $100,000 to give children coats for the winter. It may cost another expenses and like marketing and getting graphics and designs or whatever. So it may cost the whole operation $250,000. It may cost you, for organizing that whole thing, $100,000. So for the whole project, it's a $350,000 project, and you getting paid for it. You can learn how to write grants for that $350,000, right? So that's talking about creating wealth in a positive way with a positive energy. And people speak bad on the government, but the government actually needs you to be wealthy, because it needs your revenue so it can it needs you to create revenue for it so it can create more taxes so it can do the things that it needs to do. So understanding the flow of energy on multiple levels, you cannot lose, right? But getting back to the build, we get to that point by what I began to say is accepting the supreme part of ourselves, the part that you cannot deny, that spiritual part of you. That's the foundation of receiving, because you deserve everything in life that you can imagine. Treating others like you want to be treated, regardless of their perceived actions. Because you don't know where people go after they leave your vision. They could just disintegrate into thin air. You don't know unless you follow that person all the way home into the bed, which nobody ever does, right? We just have these perceived notions of people, and we have these feelings towards them. But we have to be in control of our own feelings. When we talk about changing our paradigm, though, I mean, it's okay to be sad. I'm sad sometimes too, but if I'm talking about creating wealth, I don't got time for that. You have to create that, what I said about the foundation of receiving and creating and open up that pathways, because we got to open up those pathways because we can begin to receive, right? You have to be sure that the multi-layers that I was talking about agrees with this concept that I'm talking about, because at a conscious level you might be like, right on, I understand what this nigga's saying, or I don't understand what this nigga's saying, he sounds crazy. However it may be, your conscious mind perceives it. But even the person that's saying, I don't understand what this nigga's saying, but he sits and listens to the whole video and disagrees with everything I says, at a deep level he gets it, because we are multi-layered individuals. So you cannot just go with your conscious mind as the end-all be-all. You have to spend time in meditation. You have to clear your mind. You have to shut yourself off from your surroundings and be in the inner realms of you, because we're dealing with universal law, and we don't have to go far. We can just deal with the first universal law, as above, so below. So the space being infinite means my inner self is infinite, right? Because as above, so below, right? So dealing with that meditation, dealing with that inner self, we deal with the infinite concept of our reality and what the reality that we possibly could live. And the things that we feel it into this reality, period. Whether it be a Mercedes, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a certain type of thing, even if we manifest the negative thing, that negative thing ultimately brings that positive thing to be, if you give it time. But a lot of times we talking in the form of like actual reality though, where you put a seed in the ground and it may take months for that seed to fully develop, right? And you can't just plant that seed in the ground and pray over it, right? That would do nothing to help that seed grow unless it rains, right? And then that would be a miracle, and that's why you would give all your money to a pastor, right? But sometimes it might not rain, and then you might hate your pastor. But it has nothing to do with your pastor. It's all about you having the ability to be God yourself and water that shit yourself, right? And grow your own damn garden, regardless if it rain or not, because there's water sources all around you that you can siphon the water from and get it done. So get used to problem solving, get used to receiving, and to practice this is to not turn shit down, especially money, and not to put you in compromising situations, because I know how people always flip to the negative. But just simple stuff like I just been receiving everything. A dude offered me some fix-a-flat. My tires wasn't even flat. I just took it like, it don't matter. Just give it all to me. I want it all. It don't matter. They left me 3 pieces of pizza. It had pepperonis on it. I had to take the pepperonis off. And it's just like, I'm in the flow. Like, it's give it. It's like, you know, but just understanding that concept, man. I was hungry, so that pizza was there for me because it was, you know, it was good too, you know. So it's just like this. It's a basic understanding. And then you got to feel good about receiving. This is how you test it. If you meditate with the energy of abundance in your meditation, or not even meditating before you go to sleep, you just conceptualize the vastness of the energy of the planet and it all being yours, and you just think about that concept. I guarantee you're gonna wake up to somebody offering you something. Now you take it. Do you take it all awkwardly, like, and be all kind of embarrassed about it, like, oh, you shouldn't have? Or you just take it and be natural with it, like you're supposed to receive it? Because that's just inviting more. But if you take it and kind of be like, you know, shameful about it or whatever, it's just an open, natural, happy flow about giving and taking and having multiple streams of income. Because the topic is wealth. And we need to be open to receive wealth, and just giving you different metaphysical concepts that you can utilize to open you up to receive that wealth. I mean, because the negative thoughts don't really get you far, right, in this game. And it's not that metaphysics is all you need to do. I'm not doing that, but I'm saying like that dude, you can sprinkle some metaphysics on like just getting a job, or, you know, just being inspired to come up with an idea to make some money, you know? It's just all a game, you know? But if you consistent and deliberate with what you want, you know, miracles will happen, man, for you, and you'll be right in the right position. And it's like, I'm only saying it because it's happening to me right now. Like, my wildest dream could happen like that, and it just happened, and it just be like, it's just a natural thing, and I'm just like regular with it, you know? So just being able to teach and like be paid from teaching and things of that nature is like, that's just a dream come true for me. And not letting nothing pass me, not letting no opportunity pass me, and when I get an opportunity, make the best of it. And as long as your actions and your energy is in sync, you don't got nothing to worry about. It's all a game. So, you know, take that time to take a step back from the emotions of everyday life, find time to meditate, but accept everything about life, and don't try to put a certain type of standard or title on life. Like, this is a good day, this is a bad day. Just, I put my energy forward and I act it out in my energy, and only good things can happen, period. It's not like some kind of shaky science. This is like matter of fact, perfect shit. Like, you just do it and it works. Because it's a flow thing. I was like, it's a consistency thing. And the thing that really stops us, stops me, stops you, is that structural thinking that we were taught, that you needed a certain type of system to assist you through life. Like our granddads having that, retiring from Ford or GE or whatever the case may be. Like, that was the pinnacle of black society. Or even owned the gas station, you would hear a nigga say, like, you know what I'm saying? Not to discredit, but I'm saying life is not limited to, you know, what your mind can perceive. If you give it up to the energy will bless you with a reality that you can't even possibly conceive, right? If you surrender to the energy and align every part of you, every chakra with this destiny, right? And you might have a limited view of how much money you can make. Like, it's just like, you know, you trying to budget a $20,000 salary and it's depressing you. Like, but your mind is limited to that salary. It's like you can't do nothing but that job. Like, there's other ways that, you know, people can make money out here. From writing, it's all different artists. Like, when I was down in New Orleans, I seen so many different artists just putting their art on display. Like, it was amazing. Like, there's so many opportunities out here that is really no excuse. But if you have that limited view and you have a limited response to what I'm saying, that's your limited view. We talked about that yesterday. Your view of the world is your view. There's no set view of the world, because if you was to ask everybody their reality, you would get different results from every person, because that's the game that they play. But when you play the real game, the metaphysical game, it's the game that I play. I set the rules to this, right? And that's the game that you want to play if you want to play a game of creating wealth, you know. And even understanding setbacks and drawbacks and being vulnerable and trusting people and people playing you over, knowing how to handle shit like that would be something that'll really take you over the top, because a lot of people can't handle that. Even a personal example, like, we went to New Orleans and we had a great time, and we got back from New Orleans. We spent a lot of money in New Orleans. We got back from New Orleans. They did something at a gas station where they got my credit card number, and they just went crazy on my account. I called the bank, let them know what happened, told them the account that it wasn't me. I wasn't even in that vicinity. I wasn't even in India. I'm in Ohio, right? They like, cool, we'll handle it. It's going to take 10 days. And this was a lot of money. And if this was any other point in my life, I would have freaked the fuck out. But I was cool because I had money everywhere. And like, there's money all over my house. I got money in PayPal. My girl got money. I got money. They took, like, I just was like, it's all good. Not even bragging, but it's just more of a understanding that I feel more empowered that, I can even take an L and bounce back and not even trip. Because it ain't about the fall. It's all about the get back or the bounce back. And then, like, we gonna finish this up because I've been, like, long-winded, but I feel like it was a good build. Bring it back, like, in real terms, in real reality, a seed turning into a stalk of corn is magical, right? But you used to it because it's a science behind that, farming or whatever. But that same process is within you as well. And the only thing we need to do is be consistent with our watering of those crops. And I mean that literally, figuratively, spiritually. Like, so we have these ideas and we have these passions. We have to water those with a natural process of developing these metaphysical concepts. Because the name of this group is the roots of fortune. So we dealing with the deeper levels of creating fortune from a deeper level and really having results. Because we doing it the right way. And it's like, I'm just happy that people sat through it and, braved it out with me for these 30 minutes. But it's been an excellent build. And I know that people are going to listen to it and grow from it. And so, I'm just passing on the knowledge. But tomorrow is chapter 4. Have a good night.